self-discipline and embracing a healthy living. Self-discipline and embracing a healthy living. Diseases and challenges. And it is rampant in this part of the world where people are not exposed to medicals and then they fall sick. They don't have time to go and check their health status. They fall sick, and before you know it, they're gone. And a lot of lives have been cut short as a result of health challenge. So today we want to look at how can we embrace healthy living in order to fulfill the purpose of God for our lives, in order for us to be able to make the desired impact for our lives. So I'd like us to know that healthy lifestyle is a cornerstone of self-discipline. A healthy lifestyle is a cornerstone of self-discipline. That is to say, if you must be healthy, you must be self-disciplined. Those who are healthy are those who are self-disciplined, and we're going to be sharing that and explaining that to us as we run with this training today. But I want you to know that healthy lifestyle provides the physical and mental well-being needed to stay focused and maintain discipline. The needed mental and physical well-being that we need to stay focused is provided for us by a healthy living. Therefore, in this training today, we will be looking at 3 dimensions of our teaching. Number 1 will be the connection between physical health and self-discipline. The second one will be the importance of prioritizing sleep, nutrition, and exercise. And then the third one would be effective stress management techniques. Effective stress management techniques. There are 6 points I'd like us to note just as we begin our training. Number 1, there are powerful systems of immunity and self-healing within our bodies. Powerful systems of immunity. Our system, our body system, has powerful immunity and self-healing within itself. Our body system, more than what science can ever synthesize. I'd like you to know that our body system has powerful immunity and self-healing within itself. Number 2 thing I'd like you to know as we proceed is that we must willfully put the right elements into our mouths. Immunity. This immunity that our body system has, in order to activate it, in order to make it effective, we must put the right elements in our mouths. The third thing I'd like you to note is that people do not get sick from deficiency of drugs. They only get sick from the deficiency of vital nutrients. People get sick from the deficiency of vital nutrients, not the deficiency of drugs. Point number 4 is that when we get sick, we run to a doctor. But what the doctor does is to prescribe drugs for us instead of a change of lifestyle, instead of an advice to change our lifestyle so that we can be healthy, we can be strong, what they do is to prescribe drugs for us. So they tell you can continue the way you are living, you can continue doing the things you're doing. Just take these drugs and you'll be fine. I was in the US somewhere around May this year, and I went to the eatery, and I was selecting food. My host that was with me was asking me why I was not eating certain food. And I said, as a matter of discipline, I don't eat this, I don't eat that, I don't eat that. And he said, for what? I said, because I'm watching on myself. I don't want to be diabetic. I'm not, but I try to watch sugar. I try to watch some things. And he said, you don't do that. I mean, you eat everything that are drugs. So once you eat, you go and take your drugs. For example, I am diabetic. I just eat anything and I take my drugs. Now, these are the things that the doctors have factored into us. Instead of teaching us lifestyle changes, they just prescribe drugs and tell you, live the way you want to live, just take drugs. And that's what we see a lot of people do. And without knowing that the drugs itself has its own side effect. Number 5, things you need to note. The only guaranteed health insurance available is diet and exercise. The only guaranteed health insurance that there is anywhere in the world is diet and exercise. If you can give yourself to a good diet, manage your diet properly, do exercise, your health can be insured. You can be confident health-wise. And point number 6, beloved, we must be the keepers and caretakers of our own bodies. That's the 6th thing you need to note. We must be the keepers and the caretakers of our bodies. Why? Our bodies are the temple of the Holy Spirit. So these are the 6 things we need to note. 6 things we need to note. All right. Let's move on to look at the connection between our physical health and self-discipline. Remember, we are in a series of self-discipline. We have been doing a lot of training on self-discipline. And today, our self-discipline focus is on healthy living. So we're looking at what is the connection. How do they connect? And we said here that they are closely intertwined. They are connected. They are very connected. Why? Because self-discipline raises your energy level. It impacts on your energy level. If you are healthy, it impacts on your energy level, the energy to pursue self-discipline. So when you are healthy physically, your energy level is impacted, and you are well rested, you are nourished, and you are active to keep pursuing the self-discipline task. That's why self-discipline and physical health is intertwined. You cannot pursue self-discipline if you are sick, if you are not well. Therefore, when we are physically healthy, our energy level is impacted. And then it will also impact on our self-discipline task. Number 2, the connection between physical health and self-discipline is mental clarity. Mental clarity. When we are healthy, our mental support, our mentality will be clear. We will have good cognitive function. And this will help us make right decisions, maintain focus, and advance in our self-discipline task or career. So health is good because it will give us mental clarity. And then when our mentality is clear, when we have mental clarity and cognitive functions, then we can focus on our self-discipline journey. Number 3 is that when we are healthy, we maintain emotional stability. We maintain emotional stability. We can, reduce mood swings when we are healthy. We can reduce impulsive behaviors when we are healthy. And that will help in our self-discipline task or journey. The other one is resilience, number 4. How are they connected? When we are physically healthy, it enhances our ability to cope with stress and adversity. It will help us to cope with stress and adversity, thereby helping us to maintain good self-discipline in challenging times. So we move on to look at nutrition. And we said here, remember we said that the most impactful health insurance is diet and exercise. So we say nutrition is both preventive, curative, and restorative. Nutrition is both curative, preventive, and restorative. And of course, it is better to prevent health conditions from arising than fight to cure or to restore it. So you hear a song that this popular song that we used to hear those days on radio. Prevention is better than cure. Prevention is better than cure. So we are also to pursue a prevention rather than recovery, restoration, or fighting to cure. So nutrition is key, and we must take it seriously, because rather than pursue curative or restorative medicine, let's pursue preventive medicine. All right. We now go on. People have different nutritional needs. We are talking about nutrition, but I'd like you to know that people have different nutritional needs based on 5 factors. There could be more. But number 1 is on age. There are certain age that you get to, you won't eat certain foods. You won't be partaker in certain meals. Okay? So your nutritional needs at that point will change. Some is dependent on sex. The sex of the person, maybe a male or a female. Nutritional needs may also differ from the level of activities that people are involved in. I remember when we were younger and we have to go to the farm to work. I mean, those days we were an agrarian society, more of an agrarian society. So we did a lot of hard work, a lot of trekking, walking for a long distance. So carbohydrate was a major food in our meal. So based on one's physical activity level, their nutritional needs are also determined. Then we look at health status. People's health status will determine what level of nutritional needs that they may have. And then their body composition. Body composition will also determine the kind of nutritional or nutrition that they will be needing at the time. Let's move on to the common causes of family health issues. What are the things that are responsible to cause family health issues? What are the things that are responsible? And we have been able to put down 4 of them here. There could be more, but just 4 of them here. Number 1 is stress. One of the major leading family health issues is stress. Stress on the job, stress. Life is about, there's so much stress in life, actually. So one of the leading causes of family health issues is stress. Number 2 is hereditary conditions or inherited conditions, you know. And then the third one is injury or accidents. These are the things that cause family health issues. And then the deficiency of dietary deficiency can also cause family health issues. And then let's look at the typical Nigerian diet versus the ideal diet. The physical Nigerian diet. If you look at the typical Nigerian diet around us, you will discover that in breakfast or at breakfast, they take the smallest meal of the day. Sometimes some people don't even consume anything. They don't take anything. That is the typical Nigerian diet for you. Oh, it's too early to eat. How can you eat that this early? So people don't eat in the morning. People skip food. And those that may eat may just take a bite, may just take one cucumber, may just drink water and walk away. And then in the afternoon, during lunch, they will take a decent, moderate-sized meal. And then dinner. Dinner is by far the largest meal of the day, oftentimes consumed late at night. That's the challenge of our system. A lot of people are, carrying a lot of health challenge with weight and all of that because of the kind of diet system that we run, the kind of diet system that we operate in our own system here. But the ideal diet system is that breakfast is large-sized meal, higher carbohydrate intake. I mean, it's about, like some persons would say, some nutritional persons would say, in the morning you eat like a king. In the afternoon, you eat like a prince. In the night, and in the evening, you eat like a servant. Okay, so that's the idea. Breakfast must be a large meal, higher carbohydrate intake, because you have the whole day to burn off, you have the whole day to work on it, you have the whole day to push them out of your system. And then lunch should be moderate sized meal and moderate carbohydrate intake. And dinner should be light sized meal, low carbohydrate intake for those who run 3 square meals. Those who run 3 square meals. So in the night should be the smallest size of food you should eat. And it should also be taken early hours of the evening, from 4 o'clock, between 4 and 6, we should have taken our dinner. If you take your dinner between 4 and 6, and you're sleeping by 9 o'clock, you would have been able to do justice to that meal that you took and be able to burn it as much as possible before you go to bed. But a lot of people in our system will eat, sit by the television, eat, and while they watch the television, they sleep off. No time to burn off anything, and they keep loading up the system. So that is the typical Nigerian diet system, and then we have the ideal. Let's move on. The next thing we want to look at is the 4 food group plan, FFGP, the 4 food group plan. Everybody must ensure that they take one food item from each of the 4 group food plan daily. Number 1 is meat and meat alternatives. Meat and meat alternatives. And this one contains all meats, particularly white meat, not red meat, fish, eggs, legumes, pears, pulses. These are meat and meat alternatives. That's the first group. So whatever you eat every day, you ensure that you have meats. And we said it is better to take white meat, not red meat. Better to take white meat and sparingly. Take fish, take eggs, take legumes, pears, and pulses. Then the second, number 2 food group plan is milk and milk alternatives. Milk and milk alternatives. So that one covers milk, cheese, yogurts, etc. This one you can take in the day. And then the third one is bread and cereals. roots, and tubers. That's the third food group plan. And then the last is fruit, vegetables, and nuts. These are the four food group plans that we must, be bending with our eating. And we're saying that you must take at least one item from each of them whenever you eat daily. Meats are there, milk and its alternatives, bread, cereals, roots, and tubers. Number 3. And number 4, fruits, vegetables, and nuts. There are 4 food group plans. All right. Let's look at what kind of nutritional fiber to take and how it helps us. So we said, what are the profits if we take these things? What are the profits? What do we stand to gain if we pursue nutrition? If we take nutrition very seriously? If we begin to eat right? What are the benefits? What do we stand to gain? Number 1, we said we will gain weight control. If we eat right, if we eat good fiber, if we maintain nutritional fibers and eat well, eat rightly, then we will control weights. One of the ways to control weights is actually to eat more fiber because it helps to control it. Number 2, if we eat more fibers, it will help to control constipation and diarrhea. It will relieve us of constipation and diarrhea. Then hemorrhoid prevention, number 3. Colon cancer prevention if we eat a lot of fibers. Then diabetes control if you eat a lot of fibers, blood lipids, and cardiovascular controls. Try it, beloved, just try it. If you try to see what we're saying, if you eat more fiber, you will see a lot of transformation around you. Remember that the plants are given for our healing according to scriptures in Genesis. They are given for our healing. So when we eat more fiber, it helps to control weight, constipation relief, prevention of hemorrhoids, and colon cancer prevention, diabetes control, blood lipids, and cardiovascular controls. All right. And we need to do the next thing. This is very important. We wrote stop there. Reduce sugar significantly and possibly stop it if you can eliminate sugar. It will be good, but reduce it significantly. Why? Sugar is an immune system suppressant. Sugar is an immune system suppressant. And you see sugar in almost everything that is prepared these days, particularly the junk foods, the foods that you go to eateries to buy. A lot of sugars are poured into it. A lot of the sodas, sugars are there. You just see sugar everywhere in every food they eat. Even the food, the cooked food, they add sugars into it. So, and it suppresses your immune system. So the immune system is not able to act, is not able to take control of the system. So sugar is an immune system suppressant. Must do all within our powers to stop the intake of sugar or to reduce it significantly. Number 2, sugar neutralizes our body's immune system. The immune system is given to us by our Creator to protect us from germs, from viruses, and from bacteria. But sugar neutralizes the immune system so that we are attacked by germs, we are attacked by viruses, we are attacked by bacteria. If sugars are eliminated, if sugars are reduced significantly, then you discover that the immune system is empowered to fight germs, to fight viruses, and to fight bacteria. Number 3 thing you need to note about sugar is that sugar affects our brain, causing emotional upset. Sugar affects our brain, and it causes emotional upset. And number 4, the end product of all carbohydrate food is glucose, sugar. So the rice you eat, the yam you eat, the gari you eat, the cake, the bread, the biscuit, the macaroni, the spaghetti, the indomie, all of these things are carbohydrate foods. And the end result of every carbohydrate food is glucose, which is sugar. So you see the reason why we need to ensure that carbohydrate is drastically managed. And then we must eat them early in the day so that we can burn them off before the evening. And finally, refined sugar should be drastically reduced in our diets. It must be drastically reduced and eliminated if possible. Refined sugar. We may go with the natural sugar and use it sparingly, but refined sugar is dangerous. Refined sugar is dangerous to your system. Now, what happens if we don't eat right? What happens if we don't eat right? If we don't eat right, what will happen? Diseases will occur. We'll be low on vitality. There will be a loss of quality of life. If we don't eat right, there will be a loss of quality of life. There will be a loss of spiritual and mental clarity. And of course, if we don't eat right, then we're eating death. It will result to death, early death. Today, I was just watching a program of the Japanese, and we're told that the Japanese, the average age of the Japanese people is, for the men, 82, and for the women, 89. And some of them live as long as 120, 130 years old. And then what is the secret? They eat in a controlled manner. They drink a lot of fish. They eat their food fresh. They eat more of fish. And then they walk a lot of distances. They don't drive in cars so much. They do a lot of walk to exercise their body. And so they live longer. We must be careful with how we live our lives. And if we don't eat right, diseases will occur. And the ultimate will be early death. So we need to be careful with the things we eat and then what we put in our mouth. So what do we do to eat right? What do we do to eat right? Then the word there, moderation. Moderation, moderation, moderation. Variety, variety, variety. What must we do to eat right? Moderation. Everything must be taken in moderation. There should be variety in everything you are taking. There should be variety. In fact, a nutritionist said, eat the rainbow color. Anytime you eat it, eat the rainbow color. That is mixed color. Eat the rainbow color. The yellow there, the red there, the green there, the purple there. Just eat the rainbow color. So moderation is key. Variety is key. In terms of quantity, variety. In terms of quality, moderation. It should provide adequate energy and protein. Whatever you want to eat and you want to do the right eating, whatever you want to eat must provide adequate energy for you and protein. Number 3 or number 4, it should provide micronutrients, that is vitamins and minerals, in sufficient quantities to maintain good health. Number 5, it should be safe and free from contaminants, parasites, and toxins, which may be injurious to your health. So you need to be careful. In fact, you must be careful with what you put in your mouth. You must watch the decency of what you're taking. You must be careful with the quality of what you're taking. You must be careful with the cleanness of what you're putting in your mouth. Don't just put things. People go on the road, they buy garden egg, just start eating it on the road. They buy watermelon and they just start eating it on the road. Some buy cucumber and just start eating. They won't wash it, just start eating it. Wow. Whatever we want to take, we must be careful that it has good and sufficient quantities of micronutrients. So wash it clean, make sure it is good for food. And then the other one we said, be careful that there are no contaminants, there are no parasites, there are no toxins. Point number 6, I think, it should be culturally acceptable. Culturally. There are foods that are good in some cultures. There are food that is a taboo in some cultures. So we must be careful when we get into environment, the kind of things we expose ourselves to eating. And then it should satisfy the palate and be capable of providing pleasure to the consumer. Whatever you eat should have a good taste. It should have a good taste. It should provide pleasure for you that is eating it. So how do we build resilience? How do we build resilience? Self-discipline resilience. How do we build in order to eat well, in order to stay alive, in order to be healthy? How do we build self-discipline resilience? There are 10 points there, and I'll quickly rush through them. Number 1, eat a variety of foods. Number 2, watch your fat intake. Number 3, eat little portion of carbohydrates. Number 4, eat plenty of vegetables and fruits. Number 5, maintain a healthy body weight. Number 6, cut down on salt intake. Cut down on salt intake. Number 7, drink a lot of water. Drink a lot of water. Water actually is medicine. Drink a lot of water. First thing in the morning, taking a lot of water and keep drinking through the day. But at night, don't take so much. Take a little water so that you will have a good sleep. You won't have to be waking up every time to go and ease yourself. Number 8, don't graze all day. Don't graze all day. What does that mean? Don't eat, grazing. When cows go to grazing place, they eat from morning to night and from night to morning, from morning to night. Don't graze all day. Have time for food. Have time for other things. Don't become somebody who will not be eating as if life is about food. So eat when it is necessary. Graze when it is necessary. Don't graze all day. Number 9, put food hygiene and food safety high on your agenda. Put food hygiene and food safety on your agenda. Number 10, read food labels carefully before you purchase. When you go to shops, read the food labels. It will be better to buy organic products, and they are more expensive anyway, but they are healthier. So read the food labels before you buy. Don't just buy things and go to your house. You may be buying poison. So read the labels. When you go to the shop, read the labels before you buy them. All right. The next thing we'll be looking at is how can we prioritize sleep, nutrition, and exercise. Prioritization of sleep and nutrition and exercise. And we said, aim for 6 to 8 hours quality sleep each night. On nutrition, eat a balanced diet rich in fruits, vegetables, lean protein, and whole grain. Stay hydrated and avoid excessive sugar and processed foods. Then for exercise, incorporate regular exercise activity into your routine. Aim for at least 150 minutes of moderate intensive exercise per week. 150 minutes. 150 minutes. This is very important. So you need to just take that time for exercise. Even in your parlor, you say you don't have space where to run. You don't need to run. You can actually do aerobics. You can download exercises from the internet and do them in the comfort of your room. But aim to sleep at least 6 to 8 hours every night. 6 to 8 hours. Now, one of the things we need to know about sleep is that sleep is a recovery process. It revitalizes and rejuvenates your system. In fact, when you sleep, you receive repair. Sleep repairs damaged system, weak system, worn out system. That's why when people don't sleep, it causes a lot of stress and increases the risk of disease. So you need a lot of sleep. And so you must put yourself in a good sleep environment, a friendly sleep environment. As somebody once said, in a good sleep environment, you should have dim lights. There should be no shouty lights. And then the music there should be, very soft tunes that can put you to sleep. Avoid TVs in your room. That's what the person said. Avoid TVs in your room. They won't allow you sleep. In fact, avoid books in your room and reading. When you go to sleep, sleep. So this will help if we want to stay healthy. Sleep must be given priority. Nutrition must be given priority. And exercise must be given priority. Now, what are the stress management techniques? If we discover that stress is building up on our schedules or in our lives, what are the techniques that we need to manage them? Number one, practice mindfulness and meditation. Practice mindfulness and meditation to reduce stress and enhance focus and improve emotional well-being. Practice mindfulness and meditation. Number two, practice breathing exercise, breathing techniques. And while we are here now, can everybody take a deep breath, please? Take a deep breath. Hold it. And release it. Taking a deep breath again. Hold it. Release it. Now, if you do this 20 times every day, 20 times to practice breathing exercise, it will help your system. It will calm your nerves and your system and will reduce stress from you. It's a major stress management technique. And so simple, but many people neglect it. Breathing exercise. The next one is time management. Know how to manage your time. Know when to say time is up. Efficient time management can reduce stress by allowing you to stay organized, meet deadlines without feeling overwhelmed. Effective stress management can reduce stress. It can reduce stress. When you manage your time on your job schedule, you will discover that you are able to meet deadlines without feeling overwhelmed. The next stress management technique is hobbies and relaxation. Hobbies, relaxation. Engage in hobbies and relaxation activities that bring you joy and help you unwind. Friends, you need to unwind from time to time. You need to go to a relaxed place and just unwind. Everything must not be work. You must not. In fact, don't always take yourself seriously. Sometimes relax yourself, unwind somewhere, and then do the things you love to do. And then the next one is seek support. Don't hesitate to seek support from friends, families, or mental health professionals when stress becomes overwhelming. If you have done all these things and stress is still overwhelming, then seek support. Seek support. Why is self-discipline good for your health? That's the next thing I'd like you to look at before we bring this training to a close. Why is it important to you? Number one, it helps you stop eating unhealthy food. Self-discipline helps you stop eating unhealthy food. Eating too much, eating junk food, consuming too much sugar, they are not good for your health. If you are disciplined in the way you take in food, it will help you to curtail those things. Number two, self-discipline enables you to exercise your body. Come on, can I say this to us? If you are not disciplined, you can't exercise. It takes self-discipline to exercise. I have a colleague of mine who we usually go for aerobics on Mondays, and he will always be there. But he has always cried out to me to say, I can't do this thing alone. But I'm always motivated when I come out here. I will see others, I will join them. But self-discipline says you can do it whether somebody is there or not. In fact, John Maxwell had my mentor and coach, had a heart attack and was delivered from it after he went through surgery and survived it. The doctor told him that the cure, permanent cure, is to maintain a regular exercise. And then he said, I'll do it. The doctor told him, that's what I've always heard from others. But I know that in 5 months you will come back here. And then he told the doctor to his face, I will not come back to this hospital on this matter. On the case of this matter of my health, of my heart, I will not come back. And what did he say? What he did afterwards is that he continued exercise. In fact, John Maxwell had a swimming pool in his house, and he said, even when he returns from a very tight schedule in the night by 9 p.m., he will jump into the pool. Every day he exercises. And at every moment you see him run trainings, it's with a bottle of water. These are self-disciplines that we must adopt to help ourselves. The next thing is that self-discipline helps you to lose weight. It helps you to lose weight. I have a friend of mine that, has told me that is under self-control not to take soda. In the last 3 months, he had not tasted any soda. In fact, everywhere he goes to, whatever is offered, he said he wants water. No matter who offers it, he will appreciate you, but he won't take it. That is helping him. So we must control the things that enter into our mouth. We must take charge of the things that we do. All these cakes, delicious ice creams, we must resist them. Tasty foods, fried things, we must begin to reduce them in order to lose weight. And then self-discipline helps you overcome unhealthy habits. Unhealthy habits, smoking, overeating, junk food, and unhealthy food, laziness, procrastination, and other negative habits, they harm your health. So all these things, if we are self-disciplined people, we will be able to overcome. So I'd like you to understand that we have come to the end of the presentation today, and I appreciate all of you for coming and being part of it. But let me also say that it is of no use taking information in and not putting them to practice. If you want to live longer, then you must take your health seriously.